Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. Volatile weather beginning Sunday night and into Monday, and then Monday afternoon into Tuesday morning. I'll have details in this fastcast on where that risk for tornadoes is greatest and why.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
So the Storm Prediction Center on this Sunday evening shows a risk of severe weather in the western part of the Dakotas, Bismarck, out to southeast parts of Montana, straight down into parts of the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Here is a look at the focused forecast for the probability of tornadoes. Probability not very high here, but there is a risk for a few tornadoes in eastern Montana into western parts of North Dakota in the evening hours on this Sunday night, and a higher risk as we go down into parts of western Nebraska, Kansas, and on down south into Texas as we move this map all the way down to Lubbock. So there is that risk there. Now, what does this mean? Not everybody's going to see a chance at a tornado, but it's not zero. So review your tornado plans, and the tornadoes are not expected to be particularly violent up here in the northern plains, but again, that risk not zero. Now let's go to the day 2 risk area. What you're going to see is a level 4 out of 5 risk of severe weather called a moderate risk across southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, western parts of the state of Wisconsin. Now the orange area here is called an enhanced risk. We could see some strong to maybe even violent thunderstorms and even tornadoes there, but doesn't mean that there's going to be an outbreak. What it does mean is the ingredients are all in place for some thunderstorms with tight rotation and the types that produce volatile tornadoes and very large hail, over 2.5 to 3 inches. We're talking baseballs here, folks. So now, as we take a look at this risk categorically, let's look at that probability of a tornado and compare it. This here is a 15% area of seeing a tornado. What does that mean? From any dot in this area, if you put your finger on it, there is a 15% of the area which could see a tornado. So again, tornadoes don't strike everywhere that you see in red, but there could be numerous tornadoes and strong ones in the pink area that you see here, Minneapolis to La Crosse, Wisconsin, Des Moines, all the way out to Green Bay. There is a 10% risk, so that's quite high. And as we go into Lakes Country in Minnesota, western and southwestern parts of the state, a chance there along the I-29 corridor too that is about 5%, which is substantial. So there's some spin in the atmosphere. To show you where that's going to be the greatest real quickly, we will allude to some information from a high resolution convective allowing model. We'll focus on the northern plains in this particular one. Now what we're going to look at is a product called the tornado parameter. It's where all the ingredients are in place for this, and it gives you just a little bit of idea of where it moves as we go through the next 24 hours. So here we go. Pardon me while I load this up. All right, now, and we set this into motion as we go through the Sunday night time frame. Northern and western parts of South Dakota, eastern Montana, southwestern North Dakota will see a level 1, 2, or 3 for this tornado parameter, which means there is some spin in the atmosphere. Notice it is stronger as you get down south into Nebraska. Overnight, will that risk continue? There is going to be a warm front there, but the pulling of the rotating updrafts into the air is not quite as strong during the overnight hours. So the risk for tornadoes drops significantly overnight, but it's not zero as we look down into parts of Nebraska for sure. Now heading back into your Monday, here's where things get interesting on the I-29 corridor. In the midday hours is where that spin moves through your area, but the thunderstorms really showed up on the model forming in the afternoon. So here is where that risk will be the greatest, where we'll have a lot of turning. We're talking Des Moines up toward the Twin Cities, particularly Rochester, Mankato, those areas, and here it really lights off with some tornado parameter products here that are reaching 4 to 5, which is very high in parts of Iowa, and near the Twin Cities reaching upwards of 4 for a value there as well. Now, the timing on this is the drive time home, 4 to 5 p.m., and as we go into 7 p.m. as well. So keep that in mind. Early evening thunderstorms that could be tornado producers rocking and rolling into western Wisconsin as we go into the later evening hours. That risk and the threat from these storms will become a straight line wind event with large hail potential into the overnight hours as well. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson with a quick look at that tornado potential over the next 2 days. You can find out more information anytime at hutchesweather.com. Thanks for following on Facebook and subscribing right here on YouTube as well.